The last shred of my patience was torn away by the weight of your constant dishonesty. You broke the trust I had in you, and with it, you killed the last remnants of my patience. Patience was my strength, but your lies were the final blow that turned it into my greatest weakness. I waited, I hoped, I believed, until your words finally shattered everything I had built with patience. You've drained the last drop of patience from my soul, leaving only the hollow feeling of regret. My patience isn't an endless resource. You've taken it all, and now there's nothing left but silence. Patience died not with a bang, but with the slow, painful realization that I was only ever waiting for something that would never come. You can only push patience so far before it breaks, and when it does, there's no going back. I held on for as long as I could, but now the time has come for me to let go, because my patience is no more. Your lies were the final straw, and now I'm left with nothing but the broken remains of my once infinite patience. There's no resurrection for a heart that's lost its patience, and you were the one who drove the final nail in the coffin. Every moment I spent waiting for you to change is now just a memory of wasted patience and broken dreams. Patience has died, not because of one big thing, but because of all the small things you kept doing that chipped away at it until there was nothing left. You didn't kill my patience with one mistake. You did it with countless small betrayals that built up until there was nothing left. Every lie, every excuse, every false promise chipped away at the patience I once had until it was gone without a trace. You had my patience in the palm of your hand, and you crushed it with your selfishness and disregard. The silence that now fills the space between us is a reflection of the patience I no longer have to give. My patience wasn't a bottomless well. It had limits, and you reached them faster than I could have imagined. I gave you my time, my trust, and my patience, but you turned them into a broken record of disappointment. Patience isn't a weakness, it's a strength. But even the strongest can only take so much before they walk away. I've waited for you to change, but now I know that change is something you will never offer. My patience is done. You can't keep pushing someone to the edge of their patience and expect them to still believe in you. You turned every opportunity I gave you into a reason to lose patience. Now I've run out of both. Each lie you told me was like a crack in a dam. Eventually, it all crumbled and my patience drowned beneath the flood. I once believed in second chances, but you turned that belief into another reason why I no longer have patience for people like you. Patience is a gift I give only to those who prove they're worthy of it. You've shown me time and again that I was wrong to believe in you. The price of patience is high, and with each act of betrayal, you made me realize it was a price I could no longer afford. I've given you countless chances, and each time you squandered them. My patience is now a memory, and I've moved on. Patience died when I stopped seeing you as someone worth waiting for. You played with my emotions, and now the game is over. My patience has left the building. It's not that I ran out of patience, it's that you ran out of trust, and there's no going back from that. There's no more patience to give because you've taken it all and replaced it with regret. The coffin of my patience was nailed shut not by one mistake, but by 1,000 small, consistent failures. I gave you all the time in the world, but time has a way of showing us who people really are, and I've seen enough. When someone continuously tests your patience, they're not just testing your limits, they're testing the depth of your love and respect. Patience isn't about waiting forever. It's about knowing when to stop waiting. You've used up all the patience I had, and now you'll have to deal with the consequences of your actions. Every time I tried to trust you again, you proved to me why my patience was never meant to be endless. Patience doesn't just fade, it vanishes when it's met with repeated disrespect and lies. The quiet after my patience left speaks louder than any words you could ever say to me. I don't need patience to forgive, but I do need it to believe in you again, and that's something you can never earn. I gave you the benefit of the doubt, but now I see that my patience was just a free pass for you to hurt me again. Patience doesn't vanish overnight. It's slowly worn down by repeated disappointment and unkept promises. There's a point where patience is no longer a virtue. It's just a burden you have to carry, and I'm done carrying it. I've reached the point where the weight of your lies and inconsistency has shattered the last remnants of my patience. Once I trusted, but now the truth feels like an illusion and my patience a memory long gone. You've tested my limits so much that all that remains is an empty shell where patience once grew. There comes a time when even the most patient heart can no longer bear the weight of repeated betrayal. My patience was a garden, and you trampled it with your nonsense until there was nothing left to grow. The coffin of my patience has been sealed with the final nail of your empty promises. You played with my patience like it was a game, but now the scoreboard shows your defeat, and I'm done playing. Every lie you've fed me has turned into the final drop in a cup that's now overflowing with disillusionment. I used to wait, to hope to trust. Now all I feel is the silence of patience lost and the echo of disappointment. I gave you my patience, and you turned it into a war zone. There's nothing left but the aftermath. No more pretending that I can fix what you've broken with your lies. My patience is gone, and so is the chance. My patience was once endless, but you built a wall of lies, and now there's nothing but rubble where trust used to be. Patience is a virtue, they say, but when pushed too far, even virtue wears thin and fades into nothingness. You took my patience for granted, and now all that remains is the bitter taste of what was once possible. There's no resurrection for patience once it's buried under layers of deceit and manipulation. You wore down my patience like a storm erodes the shoreline, relentlessly until there was nothing left. The coffin of my patience is sealed with the weight of your words, and I can no longer carry the burden. I've exhausted every ounce of patience, trying to save something that was never meant to be saved. The point where patience ends is the moment when truth begins to surface, and the truth is painful. You've pushed me to the edge, and now all that remains is the cold finality of having no more patience left to give. My patience wasn't infinite, and now that it's gone, the void it leaves is filled with nothing but frustration. You've proven that some things can't be fixed, no matter how much patience you pour into them. Once, I held on with patience, but now I know that some things aren't worth waiting for anymore. Your lies nailed the final coffin shut on the patience I once had, and now all that's left is emptiness. There's only so much a heart can take before it simply shuts down, and my patience has long since expired. Patience died a slow death, suffocated by the lies and manipulations you kept feeding it. I no longer have the strength to wait for change that will never come. My patience has reached its end. Your words were the poison that drained every last ounce of patience from my soul. You've run out of chances, and so have I. The coffin is sealed, and my patience is buried with it. The lies you've told have burned every bridge, and now the ashes of patience are all that remain. Patience was a luxury I gave you, but now all I have left is the painful reminder of what happens when you push too far. You pushed my patience until it broke, and now all I feel is the cold emptiness where trust once lived. With each lie you spoke, my patience wore thinner until it finally snapped in two. I gave you the gift of patience, but you squandered it with every word of deception. Patience died with the last lie you told. Now there's nothing but an empty shell of what once was. The patience I once had was a delicate flower that withered and died under the weight of your false promises. I thought I could wait forever, but you proved me wrong, and now there's no more waiting left to do. Patience isn't infinite, and when it runs out, all that's left is the reality of what you've done. You've turned patience into a burden, and now I'm free from it, but with nothing left but the aftermath of your lies. No matter how much patience I had, it wasn't enough to make up for the constant stream of disappointment you provided. You pushed me too far, and now my patience is nothing but a distant memory buried deep in the past. I thought patience could fix everything, but I've learned some things just aren't meant to be fixed. With every false word, you chipped away at the patience I once had until there was nothing left but a heart that had learned to walk away. The last nail in the coffin of my patience was struck by the lies you kept telling, and now it's over. I gave you the benefit of my patience, but you took it for granted, and now you've lost it forever. My patience has died, and with it, the hope that you could ever change. Your actions speak louder than any words, and they've sealed the fate of my patience with finality.